Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar, and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the evening news. The headlines. Bhupendra Rajnikant Patel to be the next Chief Minister of Gujarat, swearing in tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asks Indian Paralympic contingent to work in few areas outside sports to motivate people. Prime Minister praises indomitable spirit and willpower of entire contingent and assures his full support. India crosses significant milestone of administering 74 crore COVID vaccine doses. Recovery rate stands at 97.51%. National eligibility cum entrance test for medical undergraduate courses held across the country. Centre decides to set up 7 new Ekalavya Vidyalayas in Assam. Arvind Kejriwal re-elected as the national convener of Aam Aadmi Party. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports waives off registration fee for the first 2 lakh students for Fit India quiz. And in the US Open tennis, top seed Novak Djokovic to face Russian second seed Daniil Medvedev in the men's singles summit clash tonight. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Bhupendra Rajnikant Patel will be the next Chief Minister of Gujarat. Outgoing Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has proposed the name of Bhupendra Patel in the Legislative Party meeting, which was accepted unanimously. BJP Central Observer Narendra Singh Tomar officially declared Mr. Patel as the new leader of the BJP Legislative Party. Bhupendra Rajnikant Patel is party MLA from Ghatlodiya seat of Ahmedabad. Chief Minister-elect Bhupendra Patel met Governor Acharya Devavrat at Raj Bhavan in Gandhinagar this evening and handed over a letter of his election as the leader of the state Legislative Party. State BJP President C.R. Patil told media persons that the swearing-in ceremony of the new Chief Minister will be held tomorrow. The swearing-in of Council of Ministers is likely to be held later on. The new Council of Ministers will be declared in a couple of days after consultation with the party organization. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
59 years old Bhupendra Patel will be the 17th Chief Minister of Gujarat. He will succeed the outgoing Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, who resigned from the post on Saturday. Mr. Patel became the MLA from the Ghatlodiya seat of Ahmedabad city in 2017. Mr. Bhupendra Patel is believed to be close to Anandiben Patel, Governor of Uttar Pradesh and former Chief Minister of Gujarat. After his election as the leader of BJP Legislative Party, BJP workers and fans and family members started celebrations. Talking to media persons, Mr. Patel expressed his thanks to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Minister Amit Shah and BJP President J.P. Nadda. He said that he will carry forward the development works of the government. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Union Home Minister and BJP leader Amit Shah and Party President J.P. Nadda have congratulated Bhupendra Patel for being elected as the leader of the BJP Legislative Party in Gujarat. Both leaders expressed confidence that under the guidance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the leadership of Bhupendra Patel, the state's continuous development journey will get new energy and momentum. Both the leaders said that Gujarat will continue to be a leader in good governance and public welfare.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has exhorted the para-athletes to identify and work in few areas outside sports to motivate people and help bring change in the country in this period of celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The Prime Minister today shared the video of his interaction with the Indian Paralympic contingent on breakfast at his residence last week.
कि आजादी के 75 साल हैं और 2023 15 अगस्त तक हम इसको मनाने वाले हैं और 24 में आपको पेरिस जाना है। तो एक प्रकार से आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव ये पूरा कार्यकाल आप लोग देश को क्या दे सकते हैं, देश को कैसे मोटिवेट कर सकते हैं, आपके आसपास के लोगों को, स्कूल के लोगों को और बच्चों को और नौजवानों को कुछ न कुछ संकल्प कीजिए। इस आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव में मेरी खेल जगत के उपरांत अतिरिक्त मैं कोई एकांत जिम्मा लूं और मैं उसको पूरी तरह समय दूं, सप्ताह में 1 घंटा, महीने में 1 घंटा, जो भी अपनी सुविधा हो। लोग आपकी बात को, आपके व्यवहार को बहुत स्वीकार करें और देश में बदलाव लाने में बहुत बड़ी भूमिका अदा करते हैं।
Mr. Modi said Paralympians have become celebrities due to their hard work, and people will listen to them and accept their values, which can play a big role in bringing a change in the country. The Prime Minister especially praised the indomitable spirit and willpower of the contingent and said that the performance is praiseworthy in light of the insurmountable odds that the para-athletes have overcome in their lives. During his interaction, Mr. Modi assures them of his full support.
आपके पास बहुत कुछ है देश को देने के लिए और आपके जीवन को लोग बड़े गर्व से देखेंगे। पहले क्या था, कल क्या था, वो सब छोड़ दीजिए। आने वाली कल आपके लिए बहुत उज्जवल है और इसका पूरा फायदा उठाइए। मैं हर पल आपके साथ। आपके सपने, यही हमारे सपने हैं। वो सपने साकार करने के लिए मैं जहां हूं, जो भी जिम्मेवारी है, मैं कुछ न कुछ करता रहूं। ये मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं। मेरी तरफ से फिर एक बार बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको।
On the occasion, the Paralympians shared their experiences and challenges and lauded the Prime Minister for his continued support and encouragement. They added that even players from other countries told them that during the event that it is a matter of pride for Indian players that the Prime Minister is talking to them. Mr. Modi advised them to always think positively. India had sent the highest ever contingent of 54 para-sports persons across 9 disciplines in the recently concluded Tokyo Paralympics. The Indian Paralympians created history by winning 19 medals. India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed the 74 crore mark. The Union Health Ministry has termed it as yet another achievement in its fight against COVID-19. The Health Ministry said over 28,000 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in the last 24 hours. The ministry said over 34,000 people recovered from the infection during the same period, taking the total recoveries to more than 3 crore 24 lakh. The recovery rate currently stands at 97.51%.
Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has congratulated Himachal Pradesh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, Goa, Ladakh, Lakshadweep and Sikkim for administering the first COVID-19 vaccine dose to 100% of the adult population. Himachal Pradesh has administered 55.74 lakh vaccine doses as the first dose. Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu has given 6.26 lakh vaccine doses. Ladakh administered 1.97 lakh doses. Lakshadweep has given 53,499 doses and Sikkim administered 5.10 lakh doses as the first dose to its eligible population. Mr. Mandavia appreciated the health workers in these regions for their diligence and commitment. Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai flagged off 120 ambulances in Bengaluru today that will be part of a fleet of 710 ambulances operating under Arogya Kavach 108 scheme. After the induction, the state now has 275 ambulances with advanced life support system. The State Health Minister, Dr. K. Sudhakar, has said that ambulances under the 108 scheme will be given a facelift with GPS and mobile app to ensure that the ambulances reach the patient within 10 to 15 minutes. The technologies will help the ambulances to track the nearest hospital and bring in transparency. On vaccination, the minister said that the state will soon reach the 5 crore milestone as the state is administering on an average about 3.8 lakh doses of vaccine each day. Kerala is almost getting free from the fear of Nipah spread. Test results of 20 more persons turned negative, taking the total negative samples to 108. Though 65 people continue to be under observation, none of them are symptomatic. The test results of samples collected from bats and goats by the Animal Welfare Department also came out to be negative. State Health Minister Veena George has said reports by the central team regarding Nipah spread is expected within 2 days. Efforts are still on to find the source of the origin of the virus. Kozhikode DMO said Nipah prevention measures are still carried out with full vigil in the district.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Bhupendra Rajnikant Patel to be the next Chief Minister of Gujarat, swearing in tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asks Indian Paralympic contingent to work in few areas outside sports to motivate people. Prime Minister praises indomitable spirit and willpower of entire contingent and assures his full support. India crossed a significant milestone of administering 74 crore COVID vaccine doses. Recovery rate stands at 97.51%. National eligibility cum entrance test for medical undergraduate courses held across the country. Centre decides to set up 7 new Eklavya Vidyalayas in Assam. Arvind Kejriwal re-elected as the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports waives off registration fee for the first 2 lakh students for Fit India quiz. And in US Open tennis, top seed Novak Djokovic to face Russian second seed Daniil Medvedev in the men's singles summit clash tonight. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास, तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार।
Welcome back to the evening news. The National Eligibility cum Entrance Test Undergraduate NEET UG 2021 for admission in undergraduate medical courses was held today across the country following COVID-19 protocols. The examination was conducted between 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Candidates were provided N95 masks and sanitizer sachet at test centers, and they also underwent temperature check. The National Testing Agency conducted the exam at different centers located in 202 cities throughout the country and abroad. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, UG NEET was held amid adherence to all COVID protocols. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that this year, J&K has 1,000 MBBS seats in the Government Medical Colleges GMC, which are likely to increase if permission for enhancing quota under the economically weaker sections EWS category is secured. Chairman Board of Professional Entrance Examination said that in the past 2 years, the seats in the GMC Srinagar, Jammu, Rajouri and SKIMS Medical College had been enhanced with addition of seats under the EWS. J&K may get permission for increasing intake capacity in the 4 new medical colleges as well.
The centre has decided to set up 7 new Eklavya Vidyalayas in Assam. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said this in a tweet after a meeting with Union Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munda in Guwahati today. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs would also set up 400 Vandhan Vikas Kendras to promote tribal art and craft, as well as to provide livelihood opportunities to the tribal population. Both the leaders also discussed setting up of 5 tribal food parks in the state. Mr. Munda also presented the Vandhan Award 2020-2021 to Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today was re-elected as the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party. The party national executive unanimously elected him for the top post of the party. Along with Mr. Kejriwal, Pankaj Gupta was again elected as the national secretary and N.D. Gupta as the national treasurer.
The Delhi Police Special Cell has arrested 2 active members of International Narcotic Drugs Syndicate from Mangolpuri area in the national capital. The police have seized over 16 kilogram narcotic drugs worth over 30 crore rupees. The arrested Nigerian national used to send heroin to other countries through courier services from the city. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, a probationer sub-inspector of J&K police was shot dead by terrorists in Khanyar area of Srinagar city this afternoon. The official sources said that the critically injured police officer was shifted to the tertiary care hospital soon after the incident, but he succumbed to the injuries. The security forces have cordoned off the area and launched a massive manhunt to nab the assailants. In another incident, a gunfight started between the terrorists and security forces in higher reaches of Behrot village in Rajouri district today. The encounter broke out after a joint team of police and army launched a cordon and search operation in the area following information about the suspected movement of terrorists from across the line of control. As the joint team of forces approached towards the suspected spot, the hiding terrorists fired upon the forces, triggering off a gunfight.
The Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, today arrested 7 people in the ongoing investigation of 2 separate cases related to violence and other offences in West Bengal. Yesterday, 4 people were arrested. The CBI had registered these cases on the orders of the Kolkata High Court and taken over the investigation of the cases earlier registered by the state police. The agency said that the investigation is going on in these cases. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today called upon large institutions and government organizations to adopt sustainable energy practices in their operations. He also suggested making rooftop solar plants and rainwater harvesting mandatory in large buildings. He was speaking after dedicating the 1.5 megawatt rooftop solar power plant erected in the Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research, JIPMER, Puducherry today.
The state, center, union territory government and also local bodies, municipalities, corporations, panchayats, they must all come together and work as a team India. They must popularize and bring about greater awareness among the people on the benefits of installing solar panels on their rooftops. Massive campaign must be undertaken to widely publicize the subsidy and incentive programs of the government so that more and more people come forward to set up solar plants on their rooftops.
The plant has been set up using a total cost of 7.67 crore rupees. Rooftops of 15 hospitals and hostel buildings in JIPMER Puducherry campus have been utilized for setting up the plant in a distributed manner. The total installed capacity is around 15 megawatts. The Vice President is on a 2-day visit to Puducherry. Mr. Naidu visited the Mahakavi Bhartiyar Memorial Centre and paid floral tributes to the great poet Subramanya Bharati.
As the nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion of 75th year of independence, as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news and will continue till the 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as a logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826546262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. One participant will be selected as a winner. Winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. Let's listen now to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News.
In today's episode, we will talk about 3 brave women who fought against colonialism. They are Velu Nachiyar and Kuili from Tamil Nadu and Subhadra Kumari Chauhan from Uttar Pradesh. Veeramangai, the brave woman Velu Nachiyar, was the first Indian queen to wage war with the East India Company in India. She was Queen of Sivaganga in Tamil Nadu from 1780 to 1790.
Velu Nachiyar, the princess of Ramanathapuram, was trained in many methods of combat, including war match weapons usage, martial arts like Valari, Silambam, horse riding and archery. She was a scholar in many languages and was proficient in languages like French, English and Urdu.
When her husband, Muthu Vadaganada Peruvudaya Devar, was killed in a battle with British soldiers, she was drawn into the conflict.
During this period, she formed an army and sought an alliance with Hyder Ali with the aim of launching a campaign against the East India Company in 1780.
When Velu Nachiyar found the place where the British stored their ammunition, she arranged a suicide attack on the location, blowing it up. She re-inherited the kingdom of her husband and ruled it for 10 more years. Velu Nachiyar died on 25th of December 1796.
Quili, army commander of Queen Velu Nachiyar, is considered as the first female martyr in the Indian history.
Quili was born in the 18th century at Sivagangai district. She was a devout commander of Velu Nachiyar and had saved her life on many occasions. Seeing her loyalty and bravery, she was made the commander-in-chief of the women wing of her army.
In 1780, while attacking a fort of the East India Company, she applied ghee on her body, set herself ablaze, and jumped into the armory of the East India Company, securing victory for Velu Nachiyar.
Well-known poet and freedom fighter Subhadra Kumari Chauhan was born in Nihalpur in Allahabad district on 16th of August 1904. Her first poem was published when she was just 9 years old. She joined the Indian nationalist movement and used poetry as a medium to inspire people to join the cause.
She is recognized for her evocative patriotic poem, Jhansi Ki Rani, which is also among the most recited poems in Hindi literature.
सिंहासन हिल उठे राजवंशों ने भ्रिकुटी तानी थी, बूढ़े भारत में भी आई फिर से नई जवानी थी, गुमी हुई आजादी की कीमत सबने पहचानी थी, दूर फिरंगी को करने की सबने मन में ठानी थी, चमक उठी सन 57 में वो तलवार पुरानी थी, बुंदेले हर बोलों के मुंह हमने सुनी कहानी थी, खूब लड़ी मर्दानी वह तो झांसी वाली रानी थी.
Through her words, she spoke about gender and caste discrimination faced by women.
Chauhan eventually became the first woman satyagrahi in 1923. She was arrested twice in the struggle from 1924 to 1942.
Chauhan, who passed away on February the 15th, 1948, at the age of 44 years in a road accident, published 88 poems and 46 short stories. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar, AIR News Ke Sang. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports has announced free registration for the first 2 lakh school students for nationwide Fit India quiz. The ministry said that the first 2 lakh students nominated by 1 lakh schools can now be registered free for the quiz instead of participation fee of 225 rupees applicable earlier. Under it, every school can nominate maximum 2 students for free for the quiz on first-come, first basis. This decision with regard to waiving of the fee was announced by Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur with a view to increasing fitness and sports awareness among school children. Mr. Thakur said that to motivate more students to join the Fit India quiz, the participation fee has been waived off. He said every additional student can be nominated by the school for a nominal fee of 50 rupees instead of earlier fee of 225 rupees. The Fit India quiz was launched as part of the Fit India movement envisioned by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which has played a significant role in creating large-scale awareness about the importance of leading a fit life. The nationwide quiz has a 3.2 crore rupees as prize money with a national round telecast on Star Sports. The Indian community in Beijing celebrated Ganeshotsav today with traditional fervour and gaiety. The celebrations led by Beijing Marathi Mitra Mandal were part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which was attended by more than 200 members of the Indian diaspora and many other foreigners at the Indian embassy premises. India's ambassador to China, Vikram Misri, and other officials of the embassy also attended the event. Cultural program was also presented by the community members. An art exhibition celebrating different forms of Lord Ganesh was put up through painting by the kids. A dance program by kids was the centre of attraction.
In Norway, voting has begun in several large cities for parliamentary elections after a race dominated by the future of oil and climate crisis. The official election day is Monday for the 169-member parliament, but polling got underway on Sunday. In the capital Oslo, the main oil city Stavanger and Arctic town Bodo, among others, more than a third of the electorate have already cast their votes in advance. The ruling Conservatives, led by Prime Minister Erna Solberg, and the opposition Labour Party, which is leading in opinion polls, both advocate for a gradual move away from the fossil fuels that continue to underpin the economy. Iran has agreed to allow international inspectors to install new memory cards into surveillance cameras at its sensitive nuclear sites and to continue filming there, potentially averting a diplomatic showdown this week. This was announced by Mohammad Eslami of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran after a meeting he held with the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, in Tehran. Tehran holds all recordings at its sites as negotiations over the US and Iran returning to the 2015 nuclear deal remain stalled in Vienna.
In the US Open tennis top seed, Novak Djokovic will face Russian second seed Daniil Medvedev in the summit clash of men's singles tonight. Djokovic defeated German fourth seed and Tokyo Olympic champion Alexander Zverev in a tense and nail-biting semi-final clash 4-6, 6-2, 6-4, 4-6, 6-2 yesterday. Djokovic equalled Roger Federer's record with his 31st Grand Slam final. He's on the brink of completing the first men's singles calendar year Grand Slam since 1969. In women's section, rising British sensation Emma Raducanu won singles title, defeating Leila Fernandez of Canada. 18-year-old Raducanu defeated 19-year-old Fernandez in straight sets 6-4, 6-3 in the summit clash.
In Odisha, the well-marked low-pressure area over the Bay of Bengal has caused heavy downpour during the last 12 hours. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, the low-pressure area is likely to intensify into a depression in the next 6 hours, thereby bringing extremely heavy rains over several parts of the state in the next 24 hours. Now, let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital, Delhi, will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 25 and 32 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 25 degrees, while the maximum is expected to be around 29 degrees. Chennai is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will vary between 28 and 36 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. City will observe a minimum temperature of 25 degrees and a maximum of around 31 degrees. Cities of Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Bengaluru, Thiruvananthapuram will have generally cloudy sky. Hyderabad may have 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers with minimum temperature expected at 23 degrees and a maximum of around 30 degrees. Visakhapatnam will also have 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Bengaluru will have light rain with temperature hovering between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius. Thiruvananthapuram will have 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius and maximum around 30 degrees. Capital cities of all the northeastern states will have generally cloudy sky tomorrow. Guwahati will have 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers with minimum temperature of around 25 degrees and maximum at 35. Imphal, there is a possibility of development of thunder lightning. Minimum temperature will be around 21 degrees and the maximum around 31 degrees. Shillong will have 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature will hover between 17 and 27 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Bhupendra Rajnikant Patel to be the next Chief Minister of Gujarat, swearing in tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asks Indian Paralympic contingent to work in fewer areas outside sports to motivate people. Prime Minister praises indomitable spirit and willpower of the entire contingent and assures his full support. India crosses significant milestone of administering 74 crore COVID vaccine doses. Recovery rate stands at 97.51%. The National Eligibility cum Entrance Test for medical undergraduate courses held across the country. Centre decides to set up 7 new Ekalavya Vidyalayas in Assam. Arvind Kejriwal re-elected as the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports waives off registration fee for the first 2 lakh students for the Fit India quiz And in US Open tennis, top seed Novak Djokovic to face Russian second seed Daniil Medvedev in the men's singles summit clash tonight. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.